Have you ever felt like you're just one step behind the market? Like the big institutional players have some kind of secret weapon you just don't have access to? Well, today we are diving deep into the AI revolution that is completely changing that game. We're going to explore how these powerful new tools are leveling the playing field, making really sophisticated stock analysis accessible to, well, pretty much everyone. Okay, so picture this. You're just looking at your charts and you see a stock, let's call it ISMO. One day it pops 20%. Okay. The next day, another 20. And before you know it, this thing has jumped over 70% in a single week. Your first thought is probably, what in the world is going on here? And right there, that's where the frustration kicks in, right? Finding the actual reason, the real catalyst behind a huge move like that, it can feel like you're searching for a needle in a haystack. It's this slow, painful process that, honestly, every single investor knows way too well. I mean, let's just walk through the old way, because it's a real manual grind. First, you spot the stock moving. Then you're scrambling over to the exchange website trying to find the company's page. Then you're hit with this wall of corporate announcements. And the real fun starts. You have to sift through pages and pages of dense, jargon-filled documents, all for that one tiny nugget of news. And this isn't a one-off thing. This is a 30-minute black hole that sucks up your time every single day. But now, what if you could just ask that question directly? With this new generation of tools like Perplexity Finance, you can literally type in that exact question and get your answer, right away. And this is what you get back. A clean, simple summary. The AI scans all the announcements, all the data in real time, and it just tells you the company developed some groundbreaking new tech, it opened up a huge new market, and that's why the stock soared. So what used to take 30 minutes of painful manual digging now takes just a few seconds. So, how does this all work? And what does it really mean for you? Well, in this explainer, we'll kick things off with the daily grind that AI is making obsolete. Then we'll get into how you can get instant answers and even automate your research. We'll see how these tools become your own personal analyst, but we'll also take a really honest look at the potential and, the pitfalls. And finally, we'll unpack the massive new advantage this gives investors. So let's start with that daily grind. The core problem for investors has always been that we're forced to be reactive. You see a stock move, and then you go hunting for the reason why. Well, AI is about to flip that whole script. This right here, this slide really shows the whole transformation. Just think about it. What used to be a half-hour reactive scramble for info is now a 5-minute proactive analysis. This isn't just about saving a bit of time. It's a fundamental change in how you can approach investing. You're moving from playing catch-up to actually getting ahead of the curve. And it gets even better. This isn't just for one-off questions. You can literally put your research on autopilot. Imagine this. You write one simple prompt, something like, show me every company that jumped more than 10% today and tell me exactly why. You schedule it to run every day at 5 p.m. and boom, a full report just lands on your phone. No more searching, just the insights you need delivered right to you. And this is where the AI's intelligence really shines, especially when you compare it to older tools. Take Google Alerts. It's okay, but for financial research, it's a blunt instrument. If you set an alert for anti-dumping duty, you're going to get flooded with irrelevant news from all over the world. The AI, though, it's like a scalpel. It gets the context, it filters out all that noise, and only brings you the news that actually impacts the companies you care about. But look, daily reports are just the beginning. The next big leap is how these AI tools are basically becoming your own personal analyst, unlocking insights that frankly were just out of reach for most of us until now. Just think about earnings calls. They are absolutely crucial. But look at the old process. The call happens on day one. If you're lucky, maybe you get an audio recording a few hours later. But the official, readable transcript? That's done by a person, and it can take 5, even 10 days to get uploaded. By the time you can actually analyze the details, the market has already moved on. You're too late. Now here is the game changer. The AI doesn't wait around for some manual transcript. It generates one in real time, while the call is happening. And it's not just a dumb transcription. It's analyzing, it's pulling out the key points, and it's generating a summary for you. The second that call ends, you have the full picture. That information lag that used to put you days behind everyone else, poof, it's gone. Okay, as exciting as all this sounds, it's really important to take a step back and have a little reality check. This technology has incredible potential, for sure, but it's still really new, especially for markets outside of the US. Yeah, it's so important to remember we're still in the very early days here. These tools are powerful, but they are not perfect. In markets like India, for example, data on smaller companies can be pretty thin, mostly because they get less analyst coverage and the documents they file are harder for an AI to read. And if you try to run some super complex, multi-layered query, the AI might just stumble. The potential is massive, but the reality is the infrastructure is still being built. For now, it's probably smart to double-check what the AI tells you, especially if it's about a lesser-known stock. So, with those limitations in mind, let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture here. Because what's really happening is the fundamental commoditization of financial data and analysis. And that is a really profound shift.
To really get this, you gotta know what an API is. Just think of it like a universal translator that lets different computer programs talk to each other. In the past, if you wanted to use APIs to build automated financial tools, you needed deep technical skills and, honestly, a lot of money. Well, AI is changing all of that.
Building these powerful, automated workflows, that used to be the exclusive playground of big hedge funds. It took money, time, and a whole team of coders just to scrape data and build these complex systems. Now, all you need is a subscription and the ability to ask a question in plain English. You can do analysis that was just impossible before. For example, you could ask, find me all software companies that grew their R&D spending by 15% and also mentioned AI integration in their last earnings call. I mean, that's a level of insight that used to take a team of analysts days to figure out. The speed of this change is just staggering. As one analyst put it, the problem is that it's all changing too fast. Even the people who are building these AI tools are finding that their own creations are becoming outdated in just a matter of months as the next, more powerful model comes along. And that brings us to the final and most critical question. This isn't just about some cool new app. This is a fundamental change in how information is accessed and analyzed in the financial markets. So the real takeaway, the question you have to ask yourself is this: is your investment strategy ready for the AI revolution?